Hello everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, and this is Flosstube video number 86. I'm excited to show you the progress that I've had on a lot of my projects, although one of them I haven't been very motivated on, and it is what it is. So let me kick off right into it. I didn't purchase anything. I'm not waiting on anything. Well, the only thing that I'm waiting on is for Michael's to finish framing up my fair piece. I am officially entered into the county fair for 2026, and I am submitting practical blackwork, Pentecost, the blackwork that I worked on all of 2024 and up until August of 2025. So it falls within the 18-month guideline. That will be my fair entry for both pieces, but I'm just waiting for the craft store to get them done. So that's really the only thing that I'm waiting on, but I haven't placed any orders. I've been very good, and the only times that I've purchased anything was for my current projects or to start a new start, and I've only had one new start this year. So let's kick off right away. Project number one is my favorite designer project, and typically I have 4 favorite designers and I just alternate them month to month. This month it is Bella Filipina. I am working on the Daughters of Estuary by Bella Filipina. And unfortunately, this is the one that I have not felt very motivated on. This is the one that I probably have the most time to spend on it, and I have not really. So from the last time that you saw it, I just had a little bit of this fin done. So I have finished the part of this fin and brought it down, and then I've been working in this watercolors color. But I haven't put nearly as much effort into this one as I typically do. So this one, for the week of 5/4 through 5/10, when I'd filmed on the 6th, I had 125 hours into this. So since the 6th, I've put in 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 25 seconds. And it's now brought my total time on this project to 128 hours, 25 minutes, and 51 seconds. I don't know if it's this coral mermaid that I've not been as motivated to work on it, or what. I'm not sure why I haven't wanted to work on this, but instead I've been hanging out with my husband and watching television with him and reading. But yeah, so that is project 1, favorite designer project. Project 2 for me is either a blackwork or a sampler. And for this month, for May, it is a sampler. I am back to working on the Dutch Beauty Sampler. And I am in this area right in through here. Now this one I have gotten a lot of progress on. So here is where I'm at. So the last time that you saw this, I had not fully finished out this bottom piece, but now this bottom line is finished. I added all of the leaves around here and all of the stuff down here, and I added these 2 guys and I have just a few more stitches left on this bird, but this bird is almost finished. But I had to text my friend because when I was working on these guys, I'm like, ooh, this guy has an itty bitty waist. And I was like, ooh, this guy has a great big butt. And I was like, ooh, and look at those thick thighs. And I was like, and look at those tiny little stick legs. I'm like, these two guys need to add in leg day instead of just doing squats because, whew. But yeah. Yeah, I texted my friend about how funny they were with their itty bitty waist, their great big butt, their thick thighs, and their tiny stick legs. So this one I got to put in for the week of 5/4 through 5/10. When I had filmed on Wednesday, I was at 91 hours. So since then, I have put in another 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 51 seconds. So it's brought my total time on this project to 94 hours, 11 minutes, and 29 seconds. And so for the week of 5/4 through 5/10, I put in 1,323 stitches. For that week, it brought my total stitches to 18,561 stitches. And then on Monday and Tuesday of this week, I have so far put in another 3 hours, 1 minute, and 16 seconds, bringing my total time to 97 hours, 12 minutes, and 45 seconds. And right now I'm at 19,279 stitches completed on this one. Okay. And then project 3. Project 3 is Tilton Crafts Winter in the Shire. And this one I am doing by color completion, and I'm only on the second color. So let's see, how well can you see this? I feel like you can see it a little bit better that way, but I'm just being crazy. So I know that you can see the gray areas, which is the color that I've been working on. It is a light silvery kind of gray color is the second color, and I've just been plugging along. I know it's so hard to see this one. I almost hate showing this one because of how hard and difficult it is to see. From what I can see right here, I think it was actually better downstairs in the basement last week when I showed it. But anyway, for the week of 5/4 through 5/10, when I had filmed on Wednesday, I had 82 hours into this. So since then, I have put in 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 46 seconds, and it's brought my total time to 84 hours, 28 minutes, and 29 seconds. And so for that week, I got to put in 1,372 stitches. And as of Friday the 8th, I was at 21,679 stitches out of 122,500 complete, and I was at 17.70%. Now, for this week, I worked Monday and Tuesday, and I put in another 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 26 seconds. So it's now brought my total time to 87 hours, 20 minutes, and 55 seconds. And I'm currently at 22,300 stitches, and I'm 18.20%. Now, the only other stat that I wanted to add is that I have 3,277 stitches left of this color, 762. Okay, and then project 4 Project 4 is my Stash Buster piece. For the month of May, I am working on Candamar designs. Artwork by Christian Reese Lassen. And this is called the Silent Journey picture. For anyone interested, this kit is from 1998. So this one, I know that I started working on this back in 1998. And I don't know, I got at least halfway to 3/4 of the way done, and I have no idea where it disappeared to. So I can only assume that I lost it in a move. So here is my progress. I've just been steadily bringing it down, sort of color by color. This one, after I get the first quarter done and I'm working on the second quarter, I pretty much kind of do this like the typewriter method. I start in the closest stitch to where I left off, and I will stitch out that color as far as I can. Then I'll do the next one in that 10 by 10 block. Like I'll just, not so much limited to the 10 by 10 block, because I really will just do it left to right, symbol by symbol. I pick it, I stitch it down, then I pick the next color in line, and I just keep going, and it fills it in. So for this one, the week of 5/4 through 5/10, when I filmed last week on Wednesday, I was sitting at 46 hours, 51 minutes into the project. I have since gotten to put in 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 35 seconds, and it took my total time to 48 hours, 28 minutes, and 19 seconds. And then for this week, I got to work Monday and Tuesday, and so far I've put in 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 30 seconds. So that's brought my total time to 49 hours, 57 minutes, and 49 seconds. Okay. So that is the update on my 4 major projects for the month of May. So then I got to work on temperature stitching or temperature projects. Okay, so then I filmed last week on the 6th, which I did not do any temperature projects on the 6th. On the 7th, it was 63 degrees Fahrenheit here. So the project in the 3 slot is Irish crochet. This one is the first time that I've gotten to work on it since I've put this into the rotation. All right, so this is the book that I am working out of. It is called Celtic Afghans. And that is not the one that I'm working on. Is there a good picture? All right, let me see this picture. Okay. The one that I am working on is called the Celtic Cross. This is about what it will look like when it's finished. Now, the way that this one is done is very confusing. It's done in like little motifs. It's done sort of piece by piece. And let me see. Okay. Like, here's one of the inner pieces that I've already done. Like, it starts with this first row, which is this tan color. And then the second row, well, it's a couple of rows, but this is the next step into it. And it's sort of woven together. And then step 3 is adding another layer. And so I have all of these center motifs done on this project. All of these were done previous to now, up to this point. And I've got about, I don't know, 10 to 12 more of these in this state that I have to do. Then I have a bag with a bunch of these with this green edge around it. Then, so the next step from this is adding another row of tan. So when I picked this project back up, the tan was already on here, but I finished the tan on this row. Then, after that, after the tan row, which is this one right here, then I do a row of the pretty color change, the variegated, and then end it with a row of green around the edge. So I have these 3 that were done prior to now stitched together. This one is now finished and ready for the next row that I can then stitch it to this. So this one is in various states of doneness. However, this particular one, I did the tan row on this. And let me tell you, picking this up after not touching it for, how old is my oldest? My oldest is 12 going on 13. I was pregnant with my oldest the last time that I worked on this and touched it. So not having touched this piece in 13 years, when I looked at the instructions, my eyes went cross-eyed and I went, is this even in English? I don't understand what this is telling me at all. So in the 30 minutes that I have set aside to work on temperature projects, half of that 30 minutes was me trying to figure out what the heck I was doing with this and to do it and to figure out where I am. So that is the Irish crochet, well, the Celtic crochet that I have to work on finally getting to it. And like I said, I have it in various states of completedness. And like, here's my directions, like with all these like little like hand notes that I wrote and doing it. And I'm just like, whoa, this is so complicated. How did I figure this out 13 years ago? I have no idea. And what's even funnier is that I taught a class and we did that in class. Like me getting it to these various states of doneness was for me in the teaching aids to show them what they needed to do. It's crazy, right? So anyway, Irish crochet has been touched again. All right, then on May 8th, it was 66 degrees Fahrenheit here, and the project in the 6th slot is the butterfly printed cross stitch. This one and the purple baby blanket, I feel like get called the most. All right, so here is what this will look like when it is finally finished. Hopefully, maybe. We will see just how good this is going to look. I have my doubts. It is not going to look nearly as pretty as what this picture shows, but we will see. All right, so here is where I am. from the last time you, like, there's not much of a change from the last time you've seen it. In the 30 minutes that I have to work on these, I can usually get about 3 full strands stitched. So I did a black row, I did a blue row, and I came back for a black row. Now, when I'm stitching, so, because there's just so much black, I don't want to get burnt out on all of the black. So that's why I'm switching between the background color and then something that's more in the foreground. And so I started in this next block of rows. And I started over here with the color until it finished out these blocks, but like I did stitch the colors down where they went. So like that's what I did, is I would pick the color and I would stitch it down as far as I could. And if there were no more colors in this area, I would find out where it is again and then stitch it. But now this second row is done over here. All of the colors, the blue colors, have been used. So I will be jumping over here and finishing colors over here. And if it starts over here and then jumps over here or jumps down, like I'll just take it wherever it needs to go so that I do a full strand as I'm stitching. So here it is from the back, if the front is too distracting, too busy. Okay. And then on May 11th, it was 77 degrees Fahrenheit here. And the project in the 7 slot is the purple baby blanket. Like I said, the butterfly cross stitch and the purple baby blanket, the 6 and the 7 numbers, definitely get called the most, I feel. So this is the blanket that I'm working on. It is called the Bashful Teddy Blanket. This is from Mary Maxim, and when I bought it, this was like an entire kit. I don't know if that's still the case, but it came with all of the things of yarn that I need and the instructions. The only thing that they didn't give me was the hook, and that's okay. So here's what the pattern looks like. It's pretty much designed like a cross stitches. So I am down here in the bottom, and I just hit row 10, and I'm about halfway through row 10 when I finished. Pull my hook out for just a minute. It's so floppy and hard to show. But like, here's the teddy bear's feet. All the way to here. I think once I get like another 10 more rows on the hook, it might be less floppy and easier to show you. Maybe. I don't know. I'm almost done with my first skein of yarn, so can't wait for this one to be finished. Okay, and then on the 12th, yesterday, it was 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and the project for the 8 slot is the Peacock Printed Cross Stitch. So here's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And here's where I am. So from the last time you saw it, I did a black strand. I did a dark blue strand, and then I did a slightly lighter medium blue strand, and finished, like it came over here, so like I finished stitching the thread where I could. But I only got about 3 strands on this one as well. All right. So that's it for my temperature projects. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you that I got to work on, I still not finished, but, and it's a hot mess, sorry. I got 2 things going on over here. I see. Sorry, I didn't know that they were going to merge themselves with each other. Okay, so the first one to show you is the piece that I have been working on, which I'm using this stone, and I'm working on the outside of it. So it's going to go in here, much like this. And so I was just working on the zigzag of the design, going around and up. Like I said, these are going to come up here and get closer. So there's some progress on that. And then my youngest was like, "What are you doing? Can I do it?" And so I went to try to find like an easy tutorial, one on like a beaded stone. And I got through making the bail with her, and then went to slide the stone up, and the stone won't fully go up on the wire. And I don't have the right thing to ream it out, and I can't find my Dremel right now. So I told her that we're going to have to find a different stone that's drilled so that we can complete this, or I need to find the things so that I can do it myself. But 2 wire wrapping projects in progress over here. So that is it. That is all of the projects that I have been able to work on for the past week. So I will see everyone next week. I believe next week is the last week of school. Pretty sure that that's next week. I'm pretty sure that Friday the 22nd is my kid's last day of school here, which means summer vacation officially starts on the 25th. So on the 25th, I will be doing my projects differently. So for the summertime, because the kids are home, I don't have as much time to stitch because the kids see me stitching and they're like, "Oh, you're not doing anything." And so they constantly interrupt me. So for the last couple of summers, what I've done is I load my projects onto the Tiny Decisions app, and I spin the wheel for the day, and then I just work on that project whenever I can through the day. And usually I get about 1.5 to 2 hours to work on it, pretty typically in line with how much time I get to work on the projects now. So that will be happening. I will be making that change in the next couple of weeks, and then all through June and July, I will be using the Tiny Decisions app, and I'm not sure about filming. I might have to go to every other week during summer, but I'm not sure. We have several things coming up that is definitely going to be affecting my stitching. So the Denver Comic Con this year happens to fall on the weekend of May 29th, 30th, and 31st. And all four of the hobbits are going to be here again. The last time that they were here was 2022. And at the time that we went in 2022, we were, I want to say strapped for money, but I mean, we could afford to go to Comic-Con and spend money at Comic-Con. But when it came down to spending the extra money to get like pictures or autographs and stuff like that, my husband told me I could only afford to get one of the hobbits at that time. And so um, I have a couple years ago for Christmas, my husband had bought me a watercolor picture off of Etsy of a hobbit hole. And so I took that with me to Comic-Con for the hobbits to sign. And so when I had to pick in 2022 which hobbit I was going to get an autograph one, I ended up choosing Sean Astin, Samwise. And the reason that I chose him is because he has a similar name to me. Um, so I chose him to get the autograph. And so this year, in 2026, all four hobbits are going to be there again. And for different financial reasons that I'll get into in just a minute, I could only choose again one hobbit. So this time I'm going to choose Elijah Wood to get his autograph. And when it comes down to it, I've told my husband that if the hobbits are never together again and I never can get Dominic Monaghan's or Billy Boyd's autographs, I can live with never having their autographs, but I really want Elijah Wood's, and I already have Sean Astin's. So this year it's Elijah Wood that I'm getting his autograph on. So on the 31st, the Sunday, the last day, I will be standing in line for hours upon hours upon hours to get Elijah Wood's autograph. Now, unfortunately, my winter in the Shire is not complete, or else I would think about having them, like if it were complete and under glass, I would consider having them sign autograph the glass, but it's not anywhere close to being done. So that is the end of May. And I will probably take one of my cross stitch projects with me for the drive because it's about an hour to an hour and a half, depending like traffic and where we're going to the hotel and stuff. So, like, it's about an hour, hour and a half drive from my house up to Denver. And then, so after Comic Con and into June, my oldest, it's their birthday. And I've already said, we can do movies, like we can go take you and your friends to the movie theater. You can have like a sleepover, that kind of thing. But we're doing that the weekend before her actual birthday because her actual birthday is on a Wednesday this year, right in the middle of the week. And so like I didn't, want to disturb my husband's sleep schedule because he works. I didn't want to disturb any other parent's sleep schedule, so we're doing it the weekend before her birthday. Then, the week of her birthday, from, I'm just going to say starting June 14th through the 21st ish, we are going to be driving from here in Colorado to Pennsylvania, where my family lives. A couple years ago, my grandfather passed away, and I spoke about it on here. Um, they've been, they as in my mom, my aunts, my uncles, my grandma, they have been, you know, going through the estate, dividing it amongst everybody and whatnot. So I had asked, first I asked my mom. She didn't have a good answer. Then I asked my aunt, my youngest aunt, the aunt that is only like 13 years older than me. So like she's closest to me in age. She was the cool aunt growing up. She was the one that always got us the really cool presents and, you know, stuff like that. So I asked the cool aunt about my grandfather's boat. And she kind of gave me an answer, but not like a really great one. And basically, she's like, you need to talk to your other aunt, which my mom is the oldest, then it is my uncle, then it is my aunt, then it is the cool aunt. So, like, that's how it goes. So I was told to speak to the middle aunt. And so I spoke with her, got a how much it was going to cost, that kind of thing. And so I have purchased my grandfather's fishing boat, and now we need to, sorry, that's a text from my mom. So now we need to drive from Colorado to Pennsylvania to pick up the boat and then drive it back. And yeah, so during that week, I will probably just pick one of whatever my 4 June projects are and take that with me. Maybe two, because like if I take my Mirabilia, that one is like 65% complete. And if I'm just stitching on that, like during the drive, you know, all that stuff, I might actually complete that one in a week. Maybe. I don't know. I can't really gauge how fast I actually stitch. But I feel pretty confident that I might need to take 2 projects because I could be pretty close to finishing it. Um, so it will depend on which project that I take. But so for a week, I will be traveling. And so we got to go to Pennsylvania and back. Um, According to Google Maps, it is a 24-hour drive. Not that we are going to be driving for a full 24 hours. It will probably be more like we'll drive 10 to 12 days the first day, 10 to 12 days the next day. If there's any traveling on Wednesday, like the third day, like just a little bit of stuff, and then stay with the family and then turn around and come back. So, like, I feel like we might be back by Saturday. The only problem is the 19th and 20th of June are 2 days, the 2 days that we have to get our stuff turned into the county fair, which I only have the one thing to turn in. So I'm going to talk with my bestie here and see if she can drop that off for me. Otherwise, I will have entered the fair and then didn't get to drop it off, which is the opposite of what happened in 2024 when I forgot to enter, but my husband took my project to drop it off. So I got I got some travel coming up. So that's pretty much how it's gonna be for June. And then it should go, well, it won't go back to normal until the kids go back to school, but that's what's happening. That's the craziness in my life right now. Small health update. My husband's thumb that he, you know, nearly sliced off, it's looking great. It's healing great. In fact, my husband keeps walking around being like, I think that I'm a mutant or an X-Men because my thumb is healing so great. And I'm like, okay, all right, got it. You've got the healing abilities of Wolverine. So that's that's it. That's it. I'm gonna get to start editing this before I have to leave for my red light therapy appointment, but then I shall be back to finish. So it shouldn't be as late today by the time that I get this posted for everyone. But that is it. That is all. Yeah, that's all the things that I've been working on. Um, that's it. So I will see everyone next week before school ends. So bye for now.